What if you could sit in a room with 5 of the world's smartest money experts and ask them just one question? What's the one lesson that changed everything for you? No long speeches, no complicated theories, just 5 simple ideas that can completely change how you think about money. Because sometimes one right lesson is all it takes. So, grab a notebook if you have one, or open a blank note on your phone, because I am going to ask you to write things down. I am going to say some things twice, and I am going to talk to you like someone who genuinely wants you to win. Let's start with the first expert, a man whose name you already know, but whose simplest lesson most people ignore every single day. Expert 1. Warren Buffett. The Art of Doing Nothing. Warren Buffett is one of the richest people on the planet, and here's what's fascinating about him. He still lives in the same house he bought in 1958. He drives himself to work, he eats cheap breakfast sandwiches, and he has given away over $50 billion. But the lesson I want you to learn from Warren Buffett is not about how to pick stocks or how to get rich quick. In fact, it's the opposite of quick. His most powerful money lesson is this: wealth is about how much you make. It's about how long you can let your money grow without touching it. He calls it the power of compound interest, but let me translate that into real life. Compound interest means that every dollar you save today starts working for you like a tiny employee, and that employee earns more money, which hires more employees, which earn more money. Over time, this is not math, it is magic. But here's the catch: you have to leave it alone. You have to be patient. You have to resist the urge to pull it out for that new phone, that vacation, that thing that feels urgent right now. I want you to pause and think about the last time you took money from your savings for something you don't even remember buying 6 months ago. Be honest, we all do it. But Buffett says something that I need you to hear twice. He says, someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. Read that again. Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. That means the small choices you make today, putting $50 aside, skipping one takeout meal, saying no to impulse, those are the seeds. In the shade, the comfort, the freedom you want 5 or 10 years from now, that shade does not exist without those seeds. So here's your action from Warren Buffett. Look at your bank account right now, or just think about it. Pick one small amount that you can move into a savings account or an investment account this week. It can be $10, it can be $5. The number does not matter. What matters is that you start planting. And then you make a promise to yourself that for the next 6 months, you do not touch that money. You watch it grow. You let time do the heavy lifting. Because if you understand this one lesson, you stop chasing get-rich schemes and you start becoming someone who lets wealth find you. And that is a completely different energy to live with. Expert 2. Dave Ramsey. The Pain of Debt and the Taste of Freedom. Now let's talk about something that keeps more people awake at night than almost anything else. Debt. Credit cards, car loans, student loans, that buy now, pay later trap that feels like a small monthly payment but ends up owning your future. Dave Ramsey is the man who helped millions of people get out of debt, and his lesson is not complicated, but it is brutally honest. He says that debt is not a tool, it is not normal, and it is not something you should learn to live with. Debt is a chain around your ankle, and every month you make the minimum payment, you are just polishing that chain instead of cutting it off. The lesson from Dave Ramsey that I want to stick in your heart is this: live like no one else today so that later you can live like no one else. Let me say that again because it is the kind of sentence that sounds simple but changes everything when you really feel it. Live like no one else today so that later you can live like no one else. What does that mean in real life? It means saying no to the new car when your old one runs fine. It means eating beans and rice for a while. It means looking strange to your friends who are financing their lifestyles. But here is what Dave Ramsey wants you to remember. Those same friends who look cool today, most of them will be stressed and broke in 10 years. And you will be the one who owns your paycheck. You will be the one who can quit a bad job because you have no debt payments hanging over your head. You will be the one who sleeps peacefully at night. I want you to pause right now and write down the total amount of debt you have that is not a mortgage, just the consumer debt, credit cards, car loans, personal loans. Do not look away from that number. Feel the weight of it for a second. Now here's the emotional part. That number is not a reflection of your worth as a human being. You are not bad or lazy or stupid because you have debt. Most of us got into debt because we were trying to feel better, or keep up, or survive a tough month. But Dave Ramsey's lesson is about giving yourself permission to get angry at that debt instead of being ashamed of it. Anger is fuel. Shame just keeps you stuck. So take that number you wrote down and make a simple plan. List your debts from smallest to largest, ignore the interest rates for a moment, and attack the smallest one first with everything you have. Sell something, work an extra shift, cut every non-essential expense for just 60 days. When you pay off that first small debt, the feeling you get will be better than anything you ever bought on credit, and that feeling will carry you to the next one. That is how you cut the chain. Expert 3. Robert Kiyosaki. Your house is not an asset. This next lesson might upset you a little, and that's okay. Sometimes the truth needs to sting before it can set you free. Robert Kiyosaki wrote the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and in that book he draws a line between two things that most people confuse their entire lives: assets and liabilities. Here's his definition, and I want you to memorize it. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. That's it. That's the whole thing. So when you buy a car, does it put money in your pocket? No, it takes money for payments, insurance, gas, maintenance. That's a liability. When you buy a designer bag or the newest gadget, liability. Even your house, and this is the part that makes people uncomfortable, if you live in it, it takes money every month for mortgage, taxes, repairs. That's a liability. I know that sounds wrong because we're taught that owning a home is the ultimate dream, but Robert Kiyosaki is not saying don't own a home. He is saying do not call it an asset unless it is generating income for you. A rental property that pays you rent every month, that's an asset. A business that runs without you, asset. Stocks that pay dividends, asset. The wealthy spend their whole lives buying assets. The middle class and the poor spend their whole lives buying things that look like assets but are actually liabilities. Let that sink in for a moment. Look around your room right now. Look at the things you own. How many of them are putting money back into your pocket? Almost none, right? That's not a judgment. That's just the system we were never taught. So here's the emotional shift I want you to make. Instead of feeling bad about what you don't have, I want you to get excited about the possibility of buying your first real asset. Maybe that means buying one share of a good company. Maybe that means starting a tiny side hustle that costs nothing but your time. Maybe that means buying something cheap, fixing it up, and selling it for more. The point is not to become a landlord overnight. The point is to change the question you ask yourself before every purchase. Instead of asking, can I afford the monthly payment? Start asking, is this thing going to put money in my pocket or take money out? That one question, asked consistently for 1 year, will rewire your entire financial life. Write that question down. Put it on your phone wallpaper. Make it your mantra.
Expert 4, Suze Orman. Self-worth and net worth are not the same. This next expert, Suze Orman, talks about money in a way that feels like a warm but honest hug. She has spent decades helping people, especially women, take control of their finances, but her lesson applies to everyone. She says that we have been taught to tie our self-worth to our net worth, and that is a dangerous lie. You are not a better person because you have more money, and you are not a worse person because you have less. But here is the twist. She also says that avoiding money because it feels stressful or shameful is a form of self-abandonment. Her powerful lesson is this: you must build an emergency fund of at least 8 months of living expenses. Not 3 months, not 6 months, 8 months. And I know what you're thinking. That sounds impossible. That sounds like a number for rich people. But listen to me carefully. Suze Orman says that an 8-month emergency fund is not about being rich. It is about being free. It is about knowing that if you lose your job tomorrow, or you get sick, or someone you love needs help, you have a cushion of time. Time to breathe, time to think, time to make a good decision instead of a desperate one. Most people live one paycheck away from disaster, and that constant low-level fear affects everything. It affects your relationships, your health, your ability to be kind. I want you to pause and imagine what it would feel like to have 8 months of expenses sitting in a bank account. Just imagine it for 10 seconds. The way your shoulders would drop, the way you would sleep, the way you would say no to a job that disrespects you. That feeling is not a fantasy. It is a goal that you can reach one small step at a time. And here is the emotional part that Suze Orman wants you to remember. She says, people first, then money, then things. People first. That means you taking care of your own financial safety is not selfish. It is the most loving thing you can do for yourself and for the people who depend on you. So start today by opening a separate savings account just for emergencies. Put $5 in it, $10, whatever you can. And then every single time you get paid, you add to it before you do anything else, even if it's a tiny amount. You are not saving money. You are buying peace of mind. And there is no better investment in the world than that. Expert 5. Ramit Sethi. Stop budgeting, start living rich. The final expert, Ramit Sethi, is going to give you permission to stop doing something that you probably hate: budgeting, tracking every coffee, every snack, every little expense. He says that kind of micromanagement is why most people give up on their money goals. Instead, he teaches something called a conscious spending plan. And here's how it works. You decide once what percentage of your money goes to 4 buckets: fixed costs like rent and utilities, investments for your future, savings for your long-term goals, and then, this is the part I love, guilt-free spending money. That last bucket is the secret, because most financial advice tells you to cut out everything fun, to feel bad about every treat, to live like a monk until you retire. And that never works because you are human. You want to go out with friends. You want to buy that nice coat. You want to order takeout when you're exhausted. Ramit Sethi says that is not a weakness. That is life. The problem is not that you spend money on things you love. The problem is that you spend money on things you don't even care about without a plan. So his lesson is this: cut mercilessly on the things you do not care about so you can spend extravagantly on the things you truly love. Let me say that again because it is the key to everything. Cut mercilessly on the things you do not care about so you can spend extravagantly on the things you truly love. For example, if you don't care about cars, drive an old one and put that money toward travel. If you don't care about fancy clothes, buy secondhand and put that money toward a hobby you adore. But if you love dining out, then make space for it in your plan. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to be intentional. So here's your final action. Write down 3 things you spend money on that don't actually make you happy, just mindless spending, and write down 3 things that genuinely light you up. Then, over the next month, redirect every dollar from the first list to the second list. You won't feel deprived. You will feel richer because your money will finally match your life. We have covered a lot of ground, and if you're still here with me, I want you to know that I see you. I see the person who wants to change, who is tired of feeling stuck, who is ready to take responsibility without being beaten down by shame. These 5 experts gave you 5 lessons that aren't secrets, but they are powerful because they ask you to do something uncomfortable. They ask you to look at your money differently, to feel it, to stop running from it. Warren Buffett taught you patience and the magic of starting small. Dave Ramsey taught you that debt is a chain you can break with intensity and anger turned into action. Robert Kiyosaki taught you to ask whether something puts money in your pocket or takes it out. Suze Orman taught you that an emergency fund is not a luxury, it's your freedom. And Ramit Sethi taught you that you can enjoy your life while building wealth as long as you are intentional. I want you to pause one more time before you click away. Take out that notebook or that phone note. Write down one single thing from this video that you are going to do in the next 48 hours. Not 10 things, one thing. Maybe it's opening that savings account. Maybe it's listing your debts. Maybe it's asking the asset question before your next purchase. That one thing is your first tree. Plant it today. And then come back to this video in a month and watch it again, because the second time you'll hear different words. That's how change works. Thank you for spending time with me. Now, go plant your tree.